Hey, friends. There we go. A little bit taller here. 6'4" and a half. My name's Tyler, and if I haven't met you yet, welcome tonight. I hope that the presence of God is surrounding you in wonderful ways this holiday season. My wife, Trista, was passing books or Bibles out earlier, and my son, Theodore. We've been here at Sideris almost 3 years, and we have more stories and examples of God's good grace and love than I could squeeze into 5 minutes. So if you ever want to grab a coffee with me or tea with Trista, don't hesitate to reach out. We would love to talk with you guys. Tonight, I wanted to share a little bit about bikes, identity, and how God has been drawing near to me in unexpected ways this year. Now, bikes have been a part of my life since I was little. Apart from the usual love of bikes that most kids have, in 7th grade, I actually bought my first road bike, customized it with some sweet new parts, and even learned how to use clipless pedals and wear Lycra. Fast forward to college, and I was riding more than ever, building friendships through cycling, tuning into the Tour de France on TV, and learning the ropes as a rookie bike mechanic at REI. Over the years since, I've worked in the outdoor industry, always orbiting cycling in some way, currently as the Director of Customer Marketing over at Noon Hydration here in Seattle, where I've been blessed with the chance to blend a passion for cycling with my day-to-day, collaborating with other cycling brands and attending bike industry expos and trade shows. At work and in life, I've become known as the bike guy, and have helped countless friends and coworkers get that new bike, new gear, or find their place in the cycling community. For over 10 years, I've raced a type of cycling called cyclocross, which is a mixture of on- and off-road riding, similar to cross-country running. I've been a well-known part of the local community of cross racers, as a participant, a sponsor, and I was even honored with a race named after me. As the 2019 season drew near, the anticipation was really building in the cycling community as Tacoma, Washington, won the opportunity to host the U.S. Cyclocross National Championships. A huge deal. It's right in our backyard. As the weather got nicer leading into the summer, and the summer season was in full swing, I was fit, healthy, just finished a 350-mile mountain biking trip with friends through the Cascades. I was feeling pretty fast and was ready to tackle some more summer riding in preparation for what was building to be a big cyclocross season with the national championship crescendo. And then on July 1st, I had a stroke. Apparently, a PFO, or a hole in the heart, is a pretty common condition. I was born with it. I made it 35 years before I knew I had it. And then one day, a little clot worked its way up, basically shut down the right side of my body. It was scary, it was confusing, and it interrupted everything I had planned. Everything I thought was in my control and defined who I was. Thankfully, the stroke didn't have any lasting effects. God was at work. But it did identify the fairly urgent need for a heart procedure to close my PFO to reduce the risk of future strokes. Over the months that followed, I found myself grappling with this new reality. Even though the doctor said I could get back to riding and the procedure would be relatively straightforward with an expected full recovery, I still felt different. I still felt a little robbed of one of the things I cared about the most, something intrinsic to my identity. Why would God want to take that away from me? Now, backing up a little bit, 2019 was already a year that was rich in engagement with our church family here at Sideris in ways that I had never really expected our community within our church could blossom. God was at work again. I was participating with pastoral-led accountability and discipleship training, co-leading one of those alpha tables with my lovely wife, and kicking off a new Consider cohort group out of our house in Magnolia. God was showing up in our lives, in the lives of dear family and friends, and in the community of Jesus around us. As the summer turned to fall and cyclocross season started, I anticipated the FOMO of not racing, but also missing the people, the relationships, and the experiences that had really defined the last decade of my life. But instead of the usual jam-packed race weekends, I had more time to spend with my wife and my son. Instead of the constant race, rinse, and repeat hustle we had grown accustomed to for years, we had the opportunity to be more involved in Sunday worship service and community. And for the first time in a long time, I didn't feel obligated to be at the start line, and that actually felt really good. A couple weeks ago was National Championships, and as I walked across the muddy parking lot, I was volunteering, not racing. I didn't know how it was going to go. Expected the constant inquiries of, are you racing today? And where have you been all season? Did I really want to go through that, right? But instead, I felt a surprising and unexpected peace, and really a joy and a gratitude that my value and my significance, my reputation, was not dependent on this sport, or even my health or competitive performance. My identity in Christ is immovable and unshakable, and when I was reminded of that through this season, everything else felt like a beautiful bonus, a story that God is constantly redeeming. I'm still able to ride bikes, and I'll probably be back to racing in some form in 2020, Lord willing. I know Dave doesn't like that idea. But as big as bikes, fitness, and health are in my life, I'm really praising God here on Christmas Eve for this heart realignment and the peace and security, knowing that my identity is in Him, and that can't go anywhere. So, may God bless you guys, and have a Merry Christmas.